I'm so excited about today. It is day 5 of our 5-day workshop, the Amazon Reseller Profit Roadmap workshop, helping you know the right path to take toward making a full-time income selling on Amazon. Most of you have been with us all 5 days. I know some of you that things happen, life comes up. So I'm excited that you've been here all 5 days, or most of the days. And if you're just joining us today for the first day, welcome. We have limited time replays that you can watch the previous sessions. You can go to fulltimefba.com/replay to be able to watch that. Another link I want to make sure you are aware of, fulltimefba.com/workbook. This is the workbook. It's about 7 pages. It has a page for each of our sessions that we're going through in this 5-day workshop with things to fill in the blank and places to take notes. And this is awesome. We talked about on day 1 how amazing Amazon is and why that's the place you need to focus your time on. On day 2, we talked about finding replenishable inventory that you can find again and again, buy again and again, and sell again and again. And on day 3, we jumped into looking at Keepa, how to understand the tool Keepa so we can look into the past history of sales rank and pricing history to better predict the future sales velocity, pricing information, so we can make better sourcing decisions, better buying decisions. And yesterday we talked about your path to a full-time income. What does it actually take to make a full-time income selling on Amazon? We talked about that. And today we are crossing the finish line. In fact, I'm going to share my screen and hopefully you'll be able to see it, and hopefully the PowerPoint will work. Sometimes it doesn't. But we are crossing the finish line for day 5 of this workshop. And one of the best ways to be able to cross the finish line is to overcome the roadblocks along the way. Roadblocks that stop you or drastically slow down your progress. They can be a pain in the you know what. And so we are going to focus mainly on 3 roadblocks today that we were going to try to turn into just annoying speed bumps. So that's going to be our presentation, the 3 roadblocks that we're going to turn into just annoying speed bumps that we have to slow down and get over, get past, but then keep moving forward. And we'll also stick around after the presentation to hear some of your roadblocks, some of your questions, and help answer to help you get closer to the finish line. What's the finish line? Making a full-time income selling on Amazon. So today we're going to talk about these roadblocks, how we can overcome them. I do want to remind you, today, at the end of the presentation, we will be giving away this FBA starter pack. If you have been here all 5 days of this live workshop, then you have been entered into a drawing where we will choose one lucky person to win this item. FBA starter pack that includes a 16-inch impulse sealer, 400 poly bags, 100 of each size with suffocation warning labels. They're self-sealing. Super easy, super nice to have around to protect any inventory that you don't want to get dusty or dirty in an Amazon warehouse. We got a Dymo label printer and some Dymo labels. So again, we'll be giving this away if you're live on the call and you've been here all 5 days of this workshop. You have a chance to win this, where we will mail you direct from Amazon to you this FBA starter pack. And it's going to be really awesome. So stick around for that. But yes, today, crossing the finish line. I have not proofread my PowerPoint for this page, and it looks like most of it's okay. Overcoming the roadblocks along the way to help you cross the finish line in your journey towards making a full-time income. So we got 3 roadblocks that have been like the bane of Amazon sellers' existence ever since I've been selling on Amazon, which has been since 2011. It's when I first started. But by 2012, I was able to start making a full-time income. But I had like 3,000 inventory items in stock at the time. And I'm like, this is not sustainable. I need something that I can scale. I need something that I can spend less time on. And I've been able to work it to where I've been able to have much less inventory in stock, much less ASINs in stock in an Amazon warehouse, while still being able to bring in that full-time income selling on Amazon. And we know it's possible. We've coached our coaching clients to make a full-time income. We've been able to help them grow their Amazon business from start to profit. In fact, if you heard Ciela on the call yesterday, she was like, "Yeah, I started a little bit in the hole because I, needed to buy the inventory and the tools, but I'm in the black now. I'm making profits now, and I'm growing those profits." And so that's been really awesome. So again, with this worksheet, fulltimefba.com/workbook is the link. The first fill in the blank for today's session is this: roadblocks are a part of the adventure, but they don't have to stop you from finding success. Roadblocks, they're going to come up. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you. Roadblocks are going to come up. There's going to be roadblocks that everyone deals with. There's going to be roadblocks that you just might deal with based on your situation. There might be roadblocks that Amazon decides, we're going to throw everyone a curve and just kind of change a rule, and we just have to adjust. Like a recent rule that Amazon stated that only brands can make bundles now. Third-party sellers like us cannot make bundled brands. And so that's just something we pivot away from. And that's what we do and what we help our coaching clients do. Whenever there is an issue with Amazon that comes up, it's like, if we don't do anything, it's going to hurt and it's going to cause us to lose profits. But there are so many ways that we can pivot in this Amazon business to find success. And we know that roadblocks are going to come up. It's just life. But they do not have to stop you from finding success. And two mindsets, and we do some mindset coaching also. Two mindsets that will really help you make that full-time income selling on Amazon. And we'll even, what was the word I'm thinking of? Here's the next blank. We'll get right to that. Two mindsets that are huge when it comes to making a full-time income on Amazon is having a growth mindset and having a long-term mindset. So those are the next fill in the blanks. Having a growth and long-term mindset can help you overcome almost any obstacles in your path. A book I highly recommend is this book called Mindset by Carol Dweck. It is a great book. You can even go and get it yourself for, I think, around $10, fulltimefba.com/mindset, or even cheaper if you want to buy it used. But this book helps you understand there's two main types of mindsets. You got the fixed mindset, which is, well, I can't change, I can't improve. I'm just the way that I am and I'm stuck with it and there's nothing I can do about it. And the world is the way it is and it's never going to change and we're just stuck with it. It is a fixed mindset. And that is just not a way to live and not a way to run a business. But the opposite of a fixed mindset is a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is like, well, maybe there's something I can learn to grow and overcome this obstacle. Maybe there is other people have found ways to get around this obstacle. Maybe I just need to get some help and find the path to overcome this obstacle. Maybe there is a skill I can learn. There's so many different options for you to overcome problems with a growth mindset. And that's the kind of mindset we need as Amazon sellers, a growth mindset. Someone else is making a full-time income selling on Amazon. It could be possible for me. And it'd be great if they showed me the way. Or on top of a growth mindset, a long-term mindset. We live in a microwave society where we want stuff super quick, super fast, and we want results super quick and super fast. Unfortunately, the way real success is found is not microwave anything, it's crock pot. It is set it up in the morning, set it up and let it do its thing and slowly cook. And by the time it's dinner time, it's ready and things are cooking literally, and it's ready to eat. It's ready to enjoy. And so the same thing when it comes to an Amazon business. If you were like, all right, in a couple months, I'm gonna be starting bringing in a couple grand a month. Um, I'm here to tell you it's possible, but not expected. More than more times than not, the usual process for making a full-time income on Amazon, it takes about at least a year. It took me just under a year back in 2011 towards 2012 to make a full-time income selling on Amazon, but Amazon was different now. It's a whole new world. It's a different Amazon. Customers are different. The world is different than 10 years ago. Can I get an amen? Things are different and we have to change with it. And so we helped our coaching clients move forward, overcome their roadblocks so that they can make a full-time income selling on Amazon. And that is possible for you. So having that long-term mindset that you understand that this is not something that you just dabble in for a couple months and start seeing the money. No, I'm just bringing the truth, keeping it real. It takes a long-term mindset and a commitment to the process, but it is completely possible to start making a full-time income with these strategies in just about a year or so. That's why we recommend most people sign up for a 12-month coaching program with us so we can walk them through that process through those 12 months to help them make that full-time income. Yes, we offer 6-month coaching options, but we recommend people do the 12-month because there's the, 6 months is great, but 12 months helps you get closer to actually seeing the real full-time income via Amazon. So again, having a growth mindset and a long-term mindset can help you overcome almost any obstacle in your path. The next fill in the blanks, and then we're going to jump into the 3 main roadblocks that we're going to discuss today. The next blank, roadblocks could become speed bumps. Roadblocks could become speed bumps, meaning the roadblock that's stopping you, that you're like, I can't get past this, I can't get around this, could turn into just a little speed bump that you just need to slow your vehicle down, go over the speed bump, and then speed back up. And it just becomes something you get over, get past, and move on. Roadblocks can become speed bumps, and we're going to try to help you with 3 of these today. And then others if we have time that allowed. And remember, comments and put the questions in the comments or the questions section so we can come back to this after the presentation. Roadblock number 1. All right, let's get into this. Roadblock number 1. This is the number 1 roadblock I hear most people bringing up, and that is Amazon will not allow me to sell certain items on Amazon. I can sell some, but there's some I'd like to sell that Amazon won't let me. This is called brand restrictions, where Amazon restricts, and actually specifically, it's the brand itself restricting certain Amazon sellers from selling their items on Amazon. Most of the time, these restrictions are because the brand wants the Amazon seller to have some experience selling on Amazon before they let them sell their brands. Some brands are very have a high priority of the best customer experience possible, so they want to make sure that their Amazon third-party sellers have experience selling on Amazon, have a good feedback score, don't have a lot of returns, those type of situations. And so each brand is different. Each brand is different in the parameters that they set up when it comes to how long a third-party seller needs to sell their brand. What type of feedback score do they need? What kind of return rate do they need? What type of seller metrics do they need? And each brand is different and decides differently. That's why on one day you might get approved for one brand, but not approved for a different brand. And you might be like, what's the deal? I don't get it. Well, that's the deal. They decide their own and how strongly it is. So this is what happens every single time I see that I'm restricted from selling a brand on Amazon. There's a step-by-step process I'm going to walk you through. The first step is always apply to sell that brand. When you see that you're restricted, that is not the end of the story. there is a link where you can apply. Now, there might be occasionally a time where the brand has removed the option to apply. And obviously, we can't apply if the brand has removed the option for us to even apply. But if we can at least apply, we can we might get approved. I mean, we might actually get automatically approved based on how long we've been selling and our seller metrics are, if they're good. But sometimes the brand will say that you are not approved unless you also submit maybe an invoice from the brand. Maybe a letter from the brand that allows you to sell. There's a lot of different types of paperwork that they might be asking for. If you're able to get that paperwork, great. Get that paperwork and submit it, and you can be approved to sell that brand on Amazon. But most Amazon sellers, I would say 99% Amazon sellers, will not be able to get the paperwork that that brand is looking for. If you can get it, awesome, go for it. But if you can't, the next best thing to do is to set an alarm or a reminder, something to remind you to go back and reapply for that brand. Because maybe you've been selling on Amazon for 2 months and you apply for a brand and they say no. They don't ever tell you why they say no or why you're not approved. But if you see you're not approved, go back and apply a few months later, because maybe that brand has a 3-month Amazon minimum requirement for a Amazon seller to be selling on Amazon and have an active account. And they'll automatically approve you if you apply. So I always apply when I see that I'm restricted or gated from selling a certain item, and then set an alarm and reapply a few months later. And I mean, there's times where sometimes it takes a year before it finally opens up. But the magic window for most brands on Amazon is the 6-month window. When you pass 6 months of being an active seller on Amazon, most brands will begin to open up to you. And it's like a magic door that you walk through, and all of a sudden people are like, oh yeah, we've been waiting for you. We can't wait. Because you've got not only those 6 months, but you've got the good seller metrics. So you want to make sure during those first 6 months that you're doing things as best as you can, doing things top notch, the best kind of feedback, making sure that you have items graded the right way. You've got items that don't get returned all the time. You want to make sure. So how you turn the roadblock of brand restrictions into a speed bump is to A, apply, and then B, that's funny, I'm doing A and then B. 1, apply. Number 2, reapply. And number 3, keep reapplying. If you go through that process, in fact, every time I go, about every 3 months, I go into my brand restrictions. And there's a place in Seller Central that keeps your previous applications on file. And you can just, with 1 or 2 clicks, reapply for all of the things you have not been approved of before. And it's a game changer. Really helps you out a lot. So that's how you turn the roadblock of a brand restriction into a speed bump. Yes, if you can get the paperwork, that's awesome. Whatever paperwork they're asking for, if you can get that, that's awesome. If not, continue to sell on Amazon. And again, we're going back to this growth mindset, this long-term mindset, understanding that after 3 months, some brands start to open up. After 6 months, other brands start to open up. After 9 months, other brands start to open up. A year later, and more, like, you just keep going. More things will become available to you and gets easier. And I've shared it like this before on our podcast, but selling on Amazon is the exact opposite of like playing a video game. If you ever played a video game, level 1 is the easiest. You're getting to learn the rules, you know what to touch, what you can touch, what will kill you, what's going to give you power. And it should be pretty easy in most video games to get past level 1 to level 2. And level 2, it's going to be harder. Level 3, even harder. You get the big, huge bosses that you need to defeat, it gets harder. Amazon is the opposite. Amazon is, if you start selling on Amazon, and it's totally possible to do this, it's like you're starting off at level 10. When you first start off, it's at level 10. But the more you sell on Amazon, it gets easier. You know, a month into Amazon, it's like, oh, now it's a little bit easier. It's like level 9. You continue 3 months, oh, it's like level 8. Whoa, 6 months, it's like level 7 now. And the more you sell on Amazon, the easier it gets. So that's again why this whole long-term mindset, this crockpot mindset, marathon mindset, there's so many different analogies we can do. Marathon mindset, to stick with it the whole way. It gets easier as you sell on Amazon. So that's what the deal with with brand restrictions. Continue to apply and then reapply on a consistent basis. So that's the um, first roadblock that we're talking about today. Second roadblock that we're
Hey,
talking about.
Stephen, before
Yeah,
you get into the second one, I just
sure.
want to say we're going to be covering a couple more, but if you are here live and you could leave us in the chat other roadblocks that you're thinking of, or go ahead and start getting your questions ready for the Q&A time. I'll get those organized, but we're especially wanting to focus on those roadblocks today if you have those.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the reminder of that. So, second roadblock. I don't have time to do this. I totally get it. Life is busy. Um, and there is a lot going on. So overcoming this roadblock is going to be a little bit easier to explain than the restrictions, the band restrictions, because this roadblock is actually up here. It's up in your brain. It's actually not something that's going on for most people. I totally get it. There's some people, you got a full-time job and a part-time job on the side, and you got a family, and you got kids. Their life can be very, very busy. But you can actually grow an Amazon business where you're only putting in 3 to 4 hours a day at most, and that leaves, 20 hours left in the day to sleep, eat, and whatever other responsibilities that you have. So the main deal with not having enough time is that we make time for the things that are important to us. And so if selling on Amazon and becoming your own boss and growing that wealth, and being able to start to live a life with more freedom, being able to travel, if that's important to you, then you're going to make time for it. There's times where I remember talking to somebody on a coaching call a couple years ago, and they're like, I don't have time to sell on Amazon, and I'm like, oh man, that definitely is a frustration. um I'm like, so tell me what you like to do in your free time. And then they told me what they like to do in their free time. And it was like, I like to watch, TV series. I like to watch 4 or 5 episodes in a row. Or if it's an hour long episode, I like to watch 2 or 3 episodes in a row. And I'm like, okay, I mean, so in other words, you're telling me that binge watching a TV show is more important to you than growing your personal wealth or getting out of debt or being able to travel. You can choose what you want to use your time on, but what's really important to you? Now, I'm not saying stop watching TV. No, I mean there's a time where you can do that. But if you're like every single day spending multiple hours watching TV, I'm like, you can see it from behind me. I'm a big baseball fan. The baseball games are about, well, they used to be 3.5 hours. Now they're 2.5 to 3 hours long, but still, that's a huge chunk. And so, I don't watch as many like I used to watch almost every single baseball game on TV. And that just is a huge time commitment. But I started realizing, okay, if I really want to live a freedom life, I will choose my Amazon business over just watching TV, whether it's sports or binge watching. And again, I'm not telling you to turn the TV off completely. It's just maybe slow down a little bit on that show that you're watching, or spend some time being like, okay, there's 6 baseball games this week. I want to pick out 2 or 3 of them to really watch and enjoy, and the other ones, you know, and figure out that way how to best use your time. Those are just examples. They could be different for you, but you make time for the things that are worth to you. So the roadblock of not having enough time is basically you're able to turn it into a speed bump if you understand the mindset that you make time for the things that mean the most to you. If you got friends coming in town, you're not gonna be like, sorry, I know you're never in town, but I got a game to watch on TV tonight. No, you're like, I'm forget the game. I only see my friends once or twice a year. I'm making the time for the things that mean a lot to me. The same is true. Just because you can work on your Amazon business every day doesn't mean you're gonna automatic like doesn't mean that you have to um forget everything that you want to do. That's like what's the word, um just a mindless thing that you're doing on the side. Because again, a lot of times we like to watch TV because we like to be drawn into the story and be swept away to another universe and whatever, take our mind off our problems or whatever. But we can do the same thing with our Amazon business. We can be swept off to the Amazon world and can take our mind off of some things by working towards growing. So that's how we overcome the time aspect. And I totally get everybody's situation. If you want more help finding more time, we'd love to help you in our coaching program. The third um, roadblock that we're going to be talking about overcoming today, and I hear this a lot of times, people say this: I don't know what's my next step. And so that's the roadblock we're going to overcome. How do you figure out what your next step is in your Amazon business? Maybe you're like, okay, is what's my first step? Maybe you don't even know your first step. Is my first step to get an Amazon account, or should I first look for inventory so that when I open my Amazon account, I've got inventory? Or do I need to get a reseller's permit first? Or should I make my business an LLC, or should I do an S corp? What do I do first? Or if you've already started, what do I do next? Like, I spent some time doing some retail arbitrage. Is it time to add online arbitrage? Is that what's next for me? Or I really like the idea of buying directly from the brand and having brand approval and not having to deal with brand restrictions. And so if I can buy wholesale from the brand, which their invoices will give me approval for any item that's accepting applications for approval, is wholesale the next step for me? What's my first step with wholesale? Is it, there's so many different questions. And that's what we want to help you with. How you overcome the the roadblock of not knowing your next step is signing up for full-time FBA coaching, where we can get on a call. In fact, if we sign up for our coaching program, you get a bonus 30-minute one-on-one call, just me and you. We can work all of that out and figure that out. If you want one-on-one coaching after that, you can choose to that option where it's an hour every other week, you and me on the call. Or if you want group coaching so that you are with a group of others who are in a similar situation and in similar stages of your Amazon business, you can join our group coaching program where we can all talk about the next step for your Amazon business. Because a lot of times we worry, if I do the wrong thing, am I going to mess it up? Am I going to waste time? Am I going to waste money? Well, you can get more clarity in the next step that you need to take with the coaching. So we have got the coaching doors open for enrollment. We've got some amazing bonuses that can really help you take your Amazon business to the next level. I want to share my screen real quick and then we'll get into some coaching questions, or not coaching questions. We'll get into just some questions real quick. But I do want to let you know that with our coaching program, um, And again, all right, this is my PowerPoint. I need to update or something. Anyway, you get, if you sign up for our 12-month coaching program, you get instant access and lifetime access to 5 courses. You get the Jumpstart Amazon course, which outlines everything you need to do to start and build up the foundation of a solid Amazon business, how to understand the basics of finding inventory, dealing with Seller Central, all sorts of different aspects to get your Amazon business up and running. So you get the Jumpstart Amazon course, and each of these courses, except for one, is a combination video course and ebook. With the information in the video course and the ebook, they're both the same. So if you'd like to read, you can do the ebook. If you like to watch or listen, you can do the video course. But the Jumpstart Amazon course, it's got the ebook and the video course. There's also the Reseller's Guide to Online Arbitrage, how to find profitable inventory online from the comfort of your own home to sell on Amazon. Again, it has an ebook and a video course. There's the Reseller's Guide to Replenishables. That's one of the things we talked about on day 2. Finding items and the strategies to buy stuff again and again to sell again and again. And when you start to sell out, you just go restock. You don't have to go look for new stuff, new ideas, new inventory all the time. You can just restock. And that also is a video course and an ebook. There's also the course, The Reseller's Guide to Keepa. And if you saw on our day 3 of this this workshop, Keepa, it's an all video course because there's so much to show you actually with the Keepa graphs, how to use that to look at the previous history of sales rank and pricing to better predict the future, to better predict how you should price, how deep you should go on a buy, if you should buy it, if you should pass. Keepa is very visual, and so it is 100% video course. And then there's the Reseller's Guide to Pricing for Profits that walks you through how to price, how to reprice to be able to squeeze out every penny of profit during your sales, um, and with your inventory on Amazon. Just because you price it at $100 doesn't mean it's going to sell at $100. But this helps you know how to price it in a way to get the most profits for every item that you're selling on Amazon. So if you sign up for the 12-month program, you get instant access to all 5 of these courses for life. So anytime we update the course, you get the updates for free as well. So fultonfba.com/coaching to take advantage of that. Don't forget about these coupon codes. They expire midnight central tonight. So I want to make sure that you are aware. If you decide to enroll in our coaching program with the payment plan, there's a 10% off coupon. If you pay in full, there's a 15% off coupon to help save you some big money with either the 6 or the 12-month coaching. So we will make, I'm actually going to just copy and paste and put this into the chat so you have got it there. There's the coupon codes. And so I want to make sure that you're aware of that so that
Hey,
you
Stephen,
can save good money. Yes,
you copied and pasted it just to host and panelist.
that is true. I know better. All right, so now everybody gets it. All right, there you go. So we got this. We have our coaching program. If you're like, I need to save some money on it, today is your day. This is the last day. These coupon codes expire midnight tonight. And so I want to make sure that you are aware of that. You also get, if you sign up before Tuesday at midnight, a special 30-minute one-on-one strategy call with me. And yeah, I'm a big dork. I don't care. We're going to do this together. We're going to have fun in our strategy calls. So you get a 30-minute one-on-one strategy call with me as long as you sign up before coaching before midnight Tuesday night. And if you decide to pay in full for your coaching program, you can get the thing we're giving away in a few minutes, the pay in full bonus. You get this FBA supply kit that we will send to you if you pay in full. So it's gonna be a good time. I'm looking forward to coaching every one of you to help you finally get a full-time income selling on Amazon. And there are some of you who I've talked to who say, can I just get the courses by themselves or do I need coaching? And I will tell you this, it's possible to get the courses by themselves individually, to not get coaching, but your progress, your path will be much slower. If you want faster success, if you want faster profits, you want to sign up for the coaching to help you know the ways to go along the way, what to do today that's applicable today that will bring you profits tomorrow. And so a lot of people are like, "Oh, okay, I'm thinking of just doing the course and not doing the coaching." And then after a while, they come to me after taking the course and they're like, "Okay, I need some more help. I need some more help. I've got a specific situation that I need help with." We all have our own situations, and that's one of the things that comes to our coaching program. I provide a customized experience. I get to know my coaching clients and I find out, okay, you are in this area that does not have a lot of retail stores, so you need more online arbitrage or wholesale help. Or you're like, you know what, I'm mostly focused on books and I want to start adding replens to my Amazon. So we'll help you out with different replen strategies. There's a lot of different people with different needs, and coaching is what helps you along the way. Not only that, you get the accountability and the encouragement that you need. Selling on Amazon is very lonely. It's not like you have people that understand what selling on Amazon is like. It's very lonely. And so being able to talk either one-on-one with me or a group coaching call and do things together, like our normal coaching calls all start off, we share our wins, we celebrate together, and that's always encouraging. There's something that I teach my coaching students. We talk through that, and then we open things up to Q&A. What are some of the things that are going on in your Amazon business that you need help with? And they help you. Uh, we all work with each other to help each other to find the success that we're looking for. And so it is helpful, and it can help you grow your Amazon business for
I just
sure.
wanted to say too that like the coaching calls are not set up, the Zoom call's not set up the way that we've been doing it this week. This
Mhm.
week we've been doing it like workshop style where you've got the presenters and the panelists, and then everybody who's attending can chat, but they aren't on screen or able to talk. But the coaching calls, it's more of a Zoom meeting so
Yeah.
that you're able to have your camera turned on or off. You don't have to come on camera if you don't want to, but you're able to turn your microphone on and ask questions directly and interact that way and not have to just type everything. So that's another aspect of the group setting that I want to make sure that everybody's clear on that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, before we get into the questions for today, I want to give something away. So, Rebecca, you have the information of who's been here all
Yes.
5 days, and let us know who is the winner of the FBA Starter Supply Kit.
Yeah, and if you've ever done one of these with us before where we have a giveaway, the way we always do it is I get all the names together. We're keeping track and taking attendance each day. And so then I know who else been here. And I text my mom and my sister and I say, okay, I've got this many number, pick a number between one and whatever. And so today the winner is the car guy. I've been calling you the car guy all week because that's what you're registered as. So I don't know what your name is,
I
but
think my guess is his name is Guy.
okay, so Guy.
That's my guess.
So what we need you to do is go to fulltimefba.com/contact and let us know your name and address that you want your starter pack mailed to. So, and I'll put the
Yep.
link of the contact thing in the um, what's it called? Chat.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think I have a connect call with him today. I
Oh,
think,
good.
if I remember right. But
Well,
yes,
perfect.
congratulations uh to the car guy, and I'm excited that you've won this gift.
Yes, I'm excited too. I hope it's really useful for you and gets you headed in the right direction for whatever it is, wherever you are on your Amazon journey, what you need to do next. All right. So questions that have been coming in. We had one that came in just a minute ago about the coaching, like the group coaching. So how many people are going to be in the group?
So usually with our group coaching, we like to keep thing at an intimate number. And usually once we get, and this is what we usually do, once we get above 10 people in a coaching call, we usually split that group into a smaller, because by the time it gets up to 10 people a call, you know, a lot of times those calls end up becoming really long, and people are, they're trying to get the help that we're offering, and we try to limit our calls to about an hour. And so with the group coaching, if it gets up to 10, we usually split it. And so so that 10 would be the max number that you would be in a group with. But if that happened, we would split the groups into two separate groups and go from
And
there.
that would be the max. That's
Right.
not a guarantee that you're going to be in a group of 10.
Right.
They're usually lower, smaller
Yes.
than that.
Yeah.
All right. A question about sourcing for replens.
Mhm.
Um, is there a strategy that works for finding replens other than just brute force scanning everything in an aisle of the store? I've had very little success with tactical arbitrage, which is OA, and then scanning in the store would be RA. So any advice would be helpful.
So when it comes to finding replens, yes, the whole brute force going through the stores or doing online arbitrage manually, trying to find replens, is the most common way. Sometimes people like to use deal lists. Now, the deal list might not advertise a possible replens, but I have found replens via a deal list before, where they would give me a, like, oh, this is profitable today. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's profitable every day, not just right now because of a special coupon code, but it's profit. And so I found that we offer our deal list, online arbitrage success leads, and fultonfba.com/OA success. And there, I mean, it's no guarantee. It just requires looking yourself. And so there's not a way that I've figured out yet to automate it. But again, that's why replens are replens. If it was easier to find the replens, they would probably not be a replenishable item anymore, because the profitability would not stay the same. So unfortunately, you're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs before you find the prince, but it's worth it because the work that you put into it helps you find those gold nuggets.
Yeah, I was working on putting together a worksheet for coaching purposes earlier this morning. And one of the things that I was kind of working through was the concept of, and actually that was one of the very first obstacles that was mentioned in the chat when we got on this call, was time and consistency. And then just the reality is that if you're not putting in the time and consistency for sourcing, then it's going to be hard to find replens. And
Yeah.
that's not fun to hear. It's
Right.
not. We want it to be easier, and it's possible. And if you're doing it consistently, it's more than doable. But it does take time. But the more you are consistently doing it, then the more opportunity you have to find those replens. And when you say that like deal lists don't advertise replens, like you're not getting, what you mean is you don't get a list like, here's my spreadsheet of all my leads for today, and row number 4 is marked, this one could be a replen.
Right.
That's what you mean.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to go through all of them and see which ones are time-based and which ones have the keep a data to show this is something that I'm going to buy again and again and sell again and again. All right, I am having trouble. I think you just answered this one. I'm having trouble deciding between buying Jumpstart Amazon course and maybe another course too, or just signing up for the coaching program. Why should I sign up for coaching instead of just buying 1 or 2 courses? You touched on this already.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are people who are self-starters that might be okay with just a course, but if you are wanting more hand-holding, more encouragement, accountability, and the ability to have, every other week a call with me and ask your questions and figure things out, or even to like not approve what, like if you tell me what your idea is, what your path is, and I can be like, yes, that is a good path. So being able to have that type of approval, or there's another word that's on the tip of my tongue, but basically a confirmation that you're doing what the right
Affirmation.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then the coaching is the way to go. And yes, there's people who sign up for just a course, but some of them come back and they're like, I need more than just that. I need that accountability. I need your help. And we're like, we are here to help. So
Yeah. Or validation. I think that's the word you were.
validation.
Yeah.
There you go. There's my English major wife.
Yeah. Well, and I was thinking about also with the group coaching versus individual. There's a lot to be said. You know, individual coaching is great and getting that one-on-one attention for your specific business. But like a couple of days ago when we had Don here, and he was, you know, given advice in the chat about different programs that are not programs that we use on a regular basis. You know, Stephen and I don't know everything. And so getting that feedback, you know, from other coaching clients about like, oh yeah, I have experience with that program. Here's what I've learned. I
Yeah.
mean, having the group setting is really, it's really beneficial in a lot of ways. Okay, just curious, did you have coaching at some point? Yes, in FBA and in other topics as well. We've had just general business coaching. We had coaching on doing wholesale. I've had coaching on writing and different editorial. Like I have another business that I do on the side just because I love it. And so I've had coaching where that is involved. We love it. we
Yeah, I mean, if you a lot of times if you think back to a coach in your past, whether it's sports or whatever, a lot of times it's like, yes, that coach pushed me further than I would have gone on myself. That coach helped me. Um, and that coaches see things that you might not be able to see, that you're blind to yourself, that can help bring about more more of a progress towards your goals. And so coaching is awesome. We love it. We love coaches and we love coaching our clients.
yeah. Yeah, and I remember years ago when I was doing some coaching related to writing and editing in the business that I was trying to build. This was probably 10 years ago now. You know, there was like a set fee to have access to Facebook group and the courses, and then email contact with, this was all before Zoom was a thing. So, um, and I just remember looking at it and like, I remember coming to Stephen and saying, like, I've got this idea for this business, and here's what it would cost me to do this course and go through this coaching program for like X amount of months. And I'm kind of viewing it as we don't have a lot of extra money to spend on this right now. In fact, the reason why I'm wanting to build a business is so that we can like build up some extra money on this side. And so I just kind of did the math and I was like, I feel like if I do everything that is in these courses and I follow everything that the teacher is saying, that I could be making X number of dollars by the end of the 6 months. And then by the end of a year, I hope to be making this amount of money. Like it's a no-brainer for me to spend, you know, a fraction of that
Yep.
on joining this group. And it, you know, here I am 10 years later, I'm still doing that as a side business, not so much now because we need the money, because we've got like our FBA business built up to where we do, but because I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just remember going through that process of thinking through coaching myself.
Yeah,
So
and also we've also had some bad experiences with coaches before. Also, I remember Rebecca, you telling me about the one who's like, you're on a coaching call and you can like, you're totally eating your lunch while you're talking to me. That is so not cool.
yeah,
Again, it was not a Zoom video type of
the
thing, but
phone.
you can tell they're like talking with their mouth full. Yeah, we've had some bad experiences, so we also know what not to do when it comes to coaching our clients.
Yeah, don't be eating a sandwich while you're trying to
Yeah.
help your coaching students.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question. All right, so next one. Do you recommend using business credit to scale, or I would say like a credit card even?
Um, most of the time, 99 times out of 100, I would tell people, do not use borrowed money to try to grow your business, to try to buy inventory or anything like that. Do not use borrowed money because, again, we like I told you before, we talk a lot about mindset in our coaching. You spend differently your money than you do someone else's money. And that's what that borrowed money is. It's someone else's money. And you take higher risks. You might try to go and purchase too much inventory or whatever. There's a lot of things that ways that things could go wrong. And you're like, you know what, even if I pay it off every single month, that's the 1%. Unless you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you pay off your card every single month for a consistent basis, then no, run away from using someone else's money. That's what the debt is, someone else's money, and it could cause, because what would happen if you have all this money that you owe and Amazon, and something happens with your Amazon account, you're accused of a counterfeit item or whatever, and Amazon suspends your business, holds all your inventory, doesn't release any of your money, but you still have to pay it back. That's not a good situation at all. So we don't recommend using debt in your Amazon business.
Yeah, it's much different when you're paying cash, and by cash, I mean money that you already have. I don't mean like actual dollar bills, but money that you already have. And you know that like once that's gone, it's gone, than spending credit, which doesn't seem as real. And so you make different decisions. We tend to make better decisions when we're spending our own cash than we do when we're spending somebody else's
Yep,
money.
definitely.
And let's see. When do you decide an item is not fit for replens anymore and you need to stop selling it?
I mean, if it stops selling, that forces me to stop selling it. So, I mean, if the item continues to sell and I'm still able to make a profit on it, then I will continue to sell it until it dries up, until it dies. And so, um, so yeah, that's the only thing. If all of a sudden maybe the brand throws up a huge restriction, well, if I can't sell it, I'm not going to continue to try to buy it. Sometimes I'll try to like maybe sell my whatever inventory is left over on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or something like that, if that ever happens. But usually, as long as it's still profitable and I can still replenish it, I will continue. That's just the easiest money in Amazon
Yeah,
once you get it set up.
right. Right. Um, Back to this is a question, I guess kind of this is a sourcing question. I would think, is it a red flag that Amazon is on a listing?
So in certain categories, yes, 100%. Like books, Amazon almost never shares the buy box with third-party sellers for for selling books. It's like it's almost never. There are ways in Keepa, we go into this with our Keepa training on how to know if and when Amazon in the past has shared the buy box. And so you can look at a Keepa graph and see, and we can show you what to look for. Okay, Amazon never shares the buy box, so no, I'm never gonna sell an item that has Amazon as a competitor. Or Amazon occasionally shares the buy box. Okay, I might just buy a small number of items to send into Amazon, test it out, and see if they sell. And if they do, continue to send in a smaller amount. Most of the time, Amazon's not very good about sharing the buy box. I would say it's about 80-20. 80% of the time, Amazon doesn't share the buy box very well. They're not very friendly. The other 20% of the time, it's a good situation where you can still get some sales. So good question.
Yeah. Okay, this is the last one, unless there's anything else that comes in the chat, but we want to be respectful of your time. I have inventory in FBA warehouses that is not moving. Should I cut my losses or lower my prices?
So if you have inventory that's not selling, then you need to kind of figure out why. Again, you can look at a Keepa graph to kind of see what the current prices are. So if your prices are competitive and they're not selling, if you're merchant fulfilled, that might be the reason. FBA is almost always going to get priority in the buy box over merchant fulfilled. But if you are FBA, then yes, if it's not selling, then price might be the main reason why. If you can look at a keeper graph and be like, well, other sellers are selling it at this price, but I'm just not getting any of the sales, then you might need to lower it because maybe their seller metrics are better and they're getting more time in the buy box. Um, but again, there are so many different possibilities that could be going on with why. So I would look into it a keep a graph and look at what the other, like, see what the past has been like. I'd also look at the current competitors to see, like, if you have one competitor that has 1,000 in stock and you just have one or two, that also might be a reason why. Because Amazon's giving them more of the buy box because they've got more in stock. And so there's different reasons why, but usually, yes, the answer is to lower your price until you get the sale. That's usually, and then not replenish that item because it's not going to continue selling.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
add it to your zombie replan list to see if it's something you could source again in the future.
absolutely. Oh yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, and zombie replans we talked about earlier on the workshop. So if you missed that conversation, check out the replays, fulltimefba.com/replays.
Now I'm thinking, did we talk about it on the workshop this week or the podcast we just
We
recorded?
talked, I think both. I think we talked
Okay.
about it on
I
both.
started to think we just talked
Yes.
about that yesterday. We recorded a new podcast episode yesterday, and I was like, wait a minute, maybe that wasn't on the workshop.
Yep.
It's in the replens course. If you have the replens course, that's where you
Yes.
can learn more about that.
Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Well, that's where we are going to land today. And then tomorrow,
Tomorrow we got more for you. I kind of talked a little bit about this yesterday, but tomorrow we're going to continue having some fun. It's going to be Saturday. Tomorrow we are going to be we're going to have like a co-working session, sort of like a coaching session together where we're going to walk you through one of our worksheets, how to plan out your next or your first sourcing session. So if you've never been sourcing before for inventory, this is going to be awesome for you. If you've been sourcing, guess what? This is going to help you improve your sourcing. So we're going to walk that through with you tomorrow, same time, 12 o'clock Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. We're going to take Sunday off to rest. On Monday, we're going to come back again, same time, 12 o'clock noon Eastern, 11 a.m. Central. On Monday, we are going to be talking about a day in the life of a full-time FBA reseller. What's that? What is that like? Do you think that's possible for you? We're going to talk about that. And then Tuesday, we can't just keep doing this forever. So Tuesday will be our
it will be the
final,
last.
yes, it will be our final our final workshop session for the Amazon reseller profit roadmap. And we're going to just, if you have any other questions, there's questions people have emailed me, there's questions that you still haven't asked yet, that maybe you're going to spend this weekend catching up on some of the replays at fulltimefba.com/replay, and you're like, oh, that was a good session, but I haven't got a question. Guess what? Tuesday, bring it, we'll answer it. If you can't make it live, email me, Steven, fulltimefba.com/contact. You can email me your question and we'll try to answer that on Tuesday. And then Tuesday night is when the bonuses expire for the 30-minute coaching call, one-on-one coaching call with me. And the pay in full coaching bonus disappears of the FBA starter kit. All that expires Tuesday night. But the big deal, because you're watching this live right now on Friday, or maybe you're watching the replay, tonight the coupon codes expire. And you want to save some money on coaching, sign up tonight before midnight tonight.
I'll also
One,
say
okay,
we said that Tuesday morning is going to be the last session we're done, but Tuesday night is the regular coaching call. So if you've joined before then, you will have access to be able to join the coaching call on Tuesday evening
yeah,
and get into that biweekly rhythm right away.
yeah, that'll be awesome. So we look forward to seeing you tomorrow
Yeah.
and hopefully see you in the coaching program where we can help you make that full-time income selling on Amazon.
All right. Y'all take care and we'll see you again tomorrow.
All right, bye.